gonna kind of follow the same format. If you were in my classes earlier, this is what we're doing. We'll go through an introduction of everybody. Kind of, you know, your name. You can tell us how long you've been playing, whatever you kind of want about yourself, and what you are hoping to get out of this class, and what shot creation means to you. What is even that concept? And we'll just do that real quick, briefly, and then let's find out what's up. Why don't we start over here with this mystery person I don't know.
I'm Tanith, they them pronouns please. I've been playing Amp Guard for 30 years. Hoping to get out of this class. I came to SKBC trying to do some red stuff. I wasn't sure if the red classes were going to be a duplicate of each other, so I was like, oh, I need another class, and like, you know, I trust Jamie's advice a lot, so I'm like, you know, and I love you too, Morpheus, 100%. But like, you know, Jamie's helped me out with some stuff, and I was like, okay, I feel like this is a good class to take.
Awesome. We'll be your backup college. That's perfect. That's perfect. No, thank you.
Stug, I've been playing, I just hit the 3-year mark like a month ago. Taking shot creation because most of the times whenever I get my shots, I get them off of like other people, like they'll show it to me, and I just kind of copy it, like you just do this. So just to get a better grasp of the concept of what shot creation is, and so I can build my own things off of, you know, the tools that you'll give us today.
I'm Avarice. I've been fighting 4 years. And I'm mostly just want to improve how I build a shot, you know, do it in a way that would open more avenues for shots.
Sweet.
My name is Talon. I'm from here. I've been fighting for 10 or so years in December. Shot creation for me is less like this is how you create the coolest spin shot, and more like this is how you would throw this shot in an actual fight. How you create the opening so that you can throw X shot.
Grim, I'm from South Carolina, fighting like 10 years. But yeah, like shot creation is more of like building off of the shot that you already want and maybe being able to adjust more shots to what you're already throwing.
Well, and we talked a little bit about that in that other class.
Yes.
And we weren't supposed to. Spoilers from Fake Fates and Baits.
Cavell, 15 years, South Carolina. I'm really looking to pretty much use what I got from Fake Fates and Baits, but to enhance that into being able to know what shots are available in certain positions of the fight. Because there are going to be shots you like, but you can't throw them based on how you stepped, things like that. So it's more of like finding ways to still use that knowledge for shots.
Yeah, awesome. We're doing introductions. If you're going to participate in the class, by all means, name, kind of how long you've been playing, whatever, anything you want to share with us, and then kind of what you're looking for out of the class, what shot creation is to you.
Awesome. I apologize for being late on the water bearing.
That's okay. We waited as long as we could, I swear.
Yeah. My name's Fib for Radiant Valley. I've been playing for 8 months. I just feel like I don't totally know what I'm doing when I get out there, and I'm swinging wild.
Me either.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Rook Hightower, Wetlands, been playing for 7 years. I want to fight good and look good doing it.
Okay. That's the point.
Umber from around here. I've been playing for just over 2 years. Kind of just want to, I know what Talon said, I want to actually learn how to open up the shots to, you know, really know what I'm doing in a fight real time.
Echo, I've been fighting for almost 2 years now. I'm from around here. I just want to kind of like what Umber said, kind of create your own shot, but also want to know like where I need to put my shot as well.
Okay, good, yeah. Who are you?
Morpheus Stroke, Sir, whatever, Polaris, and shot creation to me is just be able to come up with wherever shots on the fly, maybe build off things that you're good at, and build it from there to have a whole cohesive game that's personal to you, leading official.
DeathLilly, Megatron, Sunshine. I've been playing 13 years now. Yeah, 12, whatever. We'll round up. 13's fine. We always round up. Been playing for like 14. rounding up. Just kidding. Shot creation to me is a lot of like what you guys are talking about. Some of it I would say is more about just the foundations and fundamentals of fighting, which is okay. Like we can use shot creation to build into a foundation of fighting because we don't want to be too random because what do you do, right? So control matters. But mostly for me, it's about creativity. And if we get too complacent or we find what works and we never change it, we don't have to be very creative. We don't create new shots. We don't create new things that'll help us be successful. So we're going to spend a bunch of time doing new, hopefully, and creative things, and some razzle dazzle, because you know, cool spin shots and flying through the air is exciting. So like, you know, we'll get some of that, but we will do, and at a high percentage. I don't want to say that we're going to do it that it's just purely low percentage shots. We're going to take those hard to throw shots and try to make them high percentage shots, ones that you can actually rely on in a fight, and look great doing it, because everybody oohs and ahs and everybody loves the oohs and ahs. I sure do. So for the kind of foundation, if you have a point, by all means jump in, but for the foundation of what we're going to do, we're going to end up splitting you guys into groups, because I think we have enough people for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Perfect. We'll end up doing 2 groups of 5, and I want you to do this with somebody you don't know for the 2 groups, okay? And those groups are going to come up with something new to use, and we're going to workshop those things as a group later in the class. And we'll go through some other fighting and whatever, and we'll do that. It's early, so I know stiff and whatever, but it'll be fun, and hopefully we'll all come out of this with something new that's pretty creative. And for the people looking for more foundational stuff, we'll hopefully be able to mix that in there too for you. So with that, I think what we'll do is, oh yeah, you know, I should ask about weapon combos. Are there weapon combos that you actually are looking to learn some of this with? Because it does change some depending on if you were a Florentine, down spear, board, single, etc. Does everybody have a preference? I'm a sword and board guy primarily, so that's my preference, but we do have content for other equipment if that's your preference.
I can't
hold your peace. All right, 2 sword guys. Yeah,
I can't.
Single and 2 sword.
Single and 2 sword. Excellent.
I'm open to anything. So
Open to anything.
in a different class.
Okay, cool. So it won't change too much, but we'll probably split our single and flow guys into the other 2 pools. That way they can have a different experience with both of this. Okay, cool. So, yeah, obviously it looks like you guys know each other, so we're going to put you in different pods, and we'll just start that way. Yeah. So I'll take someone over this way, and then let someone go over this way with this back.
At least you have an idea of shot creation. I kind of want to reverse engineer. So let's pick a spot that you want to hit someone with. Well, depending on the gear, board.
I think it's boards and 1 flow.
Board, okay.
I'm a lefty. If that changes things.
Yeah, a little bit, but not too much.
I learned yesterday that I could dark side people, so my life is now changed. Glenn, I talked to Kai.
I mean, I could
Yeah.
dark side on a lefty. Mirrors each other, right? So let's pick a shot location that we want to hit them at, right? So you know, you can land for sword back hip, shield shoulder. Right?
Yeah, I shield shoulder.
Okay. All right. So how do you guys want to approach?
Yeah, let's go through it slow. I want to watch this.
What's your teammate? Add a feint into it. A fake. Try to do shield shoulder. What's your ideas here?
I mean, it's kind of like we're just building an overall for anyone that is, right? Yeah. It's going to develop per fighter.
Yeah.
What I do is I go
Maybe like a dark
and then I freeze up and I go, oh.
Okay. Fake, kind of fainting over here. Then you're going over.
So and as I tell Shimon,
got like a fake on the shield, run over. All right.
like one of the hurdles I think of the exercise is that if we think about it, all right, we're going to create a shot. First, we're gonna have some, like, that's gonna add some performance anxiety in a sense, right? Like, oh, I gotta come up with something. So we gotta find a way to bust past that. The second thing is, immediately we're gonna think, what's the most efficient way to do this? Because we're all fighters, and we gotta think. We can't think in terms of efficiency. We have to think in terms of circumventing something, right? Like,
Or just
because I'm like, okay, I want to land a shot there. There it is, right? So like, okay, why would I add steps to that? Well, I want to circumvent what my opponent's doing. I want to add flash. Like, I want to add some kind of modifier.
Yeah, I would say it's like changing your idea of what efficient is, right?
Yeah.
I can't just walk up and hit Grim. He's going to fight back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I need to do something to prevent him from fighting back, especially as a lefty. I'm like, if I want to throw for his shield side, I have to convince him that he actually can't just swing on me.
Yeah.
On you know on left side at all. So
The dark side's actually not like a horrible because you're going opposite hip.
yeah. So like if so our goal is what would be shield side shoulder for y'all would be soul side shoulder for me. I have to convince people not to swing. Y'all have to convince people to move their board.
Yeah.
So just starting with Umber's idea of just being like, yeah, even whether it's lefty or no, I'm not threatening one side. Whoa, just punch my camera. Hell yeah. I'm threatening one side as a whole. I don't think it's a bad place to start. Just to see where things go, how things develop, and how I can trick that person into like allowing me to do that, right?
Right.
So, let's see here. I don't need a glove for this because I'm going to attempt to do whatever the hell. So if I have Tanny here. So Umber, you said something like go up here. I would say something like to try to get them to draw myself over here and my weapon over here and try to even hit this hand to keep them from doing whatever the hell. Hopefully they move, whether they move their gear over. In a perfect world, Tanny just moves his arms over. So like if I step this way, he just moves his because we're trying to hit this shoulder, right? So if I move this way, hopefully he just moves his arms over. And I'm like, okay, cool. Thank you. I appreciate that. Most people don't. I feel like most people will straight up just move their bodies with me, but hopefully this step will catch him like so. Boom, and lead me closer to him. Is what I would hope for. As a lefty, I would need to like. I might even hit the hand, come under the board, and then come back around.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I would want to do something. I would want to be super close to people when I do this, because I feel like if I'm too far away and I hit the hand and come over, they'll just swing over my arm like this. Whereas if I'm this close to them, it's a lot harder for them to do that. And for me to come, coming under their arm at that point to hit that point would be how I would initially take that, just going off what I said.
Yeah. So, you got the idea of throwing some sort of thing under here. You talk about maybe working with positioning. Here, while you're pulling over here, to make sure that shot's a more viable option, right? And then you throw on a jab. I would even say maybe instead of shooting over here, you can try stepping over here too. Right, you can here because like step over this way, you're like, oh shit, but then you throw something over here, you're starting to mess with that like compact here. Oh god, and then you shoot over, right? So it's kind of messing with your opponent a bunch when you're trying to fight them, right? You want to get that brain kind of scrambled, you know? You don't want to make it too simple, like just throwing that straight shoulder. Well, the only thing they gotta watch is, well, this arm's here and it shoots my shoulder, so that makes it easy. But you start, you know, throw these like 3-point fakes or whatever, then it starts to scramble them and then you get over, right? So, yeah, I like that. So definitely there, try that.
The question is though, did we create something? Is that, I mean, I can't say that we haven't seen that before, right?
Right.
Which,
every shot's been thrown is how I feel like it. Is this new for you? Is this a new idea?
That makes sense.
For like even the person that I haven't fought before. Yeah. Sure, everyone's been hit with 5-1-2 before, but have I 5-1-2 you in this fight?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
So
I was just gonna say, if you want to like completely try to come with something like new and like a little bit interesting, honestly, trying to end with a stab is probably There's just
stabs.
Like, like if the goal of the class is to come up with something very creative and like maybe it's not the best useful shot, but like it's gonna be creative, like coming up with a stab, because there's so many ways to get around it, like or so many ways you could throw those and do that kind of stuff. But like if we want to do something that feels a little bit more creative and like you can do a little bit more with. Like, I mean, there's so many ways different to stab someone. So we could do a stab if we wanted to.
Switch it up. I like that.
I'm like, let's see. I'm like, how do I hit that shoulder?
I think they did say 90%
But from behind. Yeah, that's not 90%.
Well, that's what I was saying.
We said 90 percenters. We're also gonna go over 10 percenters because sure they're 10%, but when they work 100.
Yeah.
So
They get 100% of the wows when you
So I'm gonna try a stab. So let's see what you guys are coming to.
You still want to go for the same shoulder?
before too.
A little stab at the shield shoulder.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. No, I was like, are we switching where the stab's going?
Oh God. I definitely got.
I mean-
Or are we just going for center mass stab? Any way
I'm
to
short.
stab
Yeah,
someone.
I have to
If
do
I
that.
could just like wrap around.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
do
so
that quick
let's
and I'll-
let's try a stab at like center mass.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
That's like,
That's pretty. Yeah,
That's-
pretty intense.
that's torch stab. Like we saw a lot of that
Right. That's
15,
not,
20 years ago.
So,
Yeah, it's been 15, 20 years. It's new.
true,
It's new
yeah.
again. It's new
I
again.
mean, like,
Bring it back.
It's come back around.
Interesting stab like that. I learned a while ago when Brennan was fighting a lot. He loved this shit. Where he would start the fight and he would literally go, and then he would dark side it.
Dark side stab.
But the point, the part that was interesting was he would completely hide his hand.
Yeah.
So he fought out forward, he would just go like this, and that way he could go pop,
Okay, that makes
or
sense.
he could go outside, but he would always come over and take the step. And I mean, that's like an interesting shot. Obviously, that's just stealing a shot from someone who's already doing it. But like,
Well,
Hey.
still the principle of like,
That's also.
but like, I
also
like the
part of that.
hide, the hand hiding.
Yeah.
Like you can go from so many different places from there because if you, like for you, I don't know, what shot do you throw the most? Like what's your shot? Like what's like the shot that you land?
So I bait shoulder, and as soon as they go for that slide, boom, just like
Gotcha.
that.
So I mean, like for you, it's just a chop, but like, I mean, even if I go like this,
Yeah.
and then you're like, oh, he's probably gonna shoot. I mean, I could do.
You could turn it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
So like
Is that
that
hand hidden? I don't see which way it's pointing.
Or you could just see your gear. You're baiting the shoulder, we're trying to get like a stab. So maybe instead of this, just shooting high, then you can go in there,
Yeah.
like that. You step in, level change, and then maybe pump it in there.
Okay.
They're not using the arming or
I mean, you really don't even have to use
Driving.
much. Yeah.
Yeah,
You can just take a stab. Yeah.
like that's something you could try too. Level change low, shoot under. That pocket right there is all there.
Yeah.
I guess
I have to shoulder to fighting that.
the idea of that. Like instead of, I guess if I were to do something, just cross the lane over, and then step and do something like this,
Yeah.
just pulls my sword back to a degree, pulls my defenses up, and I'm hoping people just go for the. I want people to swing left at this point, because once you do swing left, I can try to just push away. Especially if I started off, I guess if I like left before, I'm presenting super forward here,
Yeah.
and then as I do whatever, step back, be like, oh, it's my turn to lefty hip wrap the lefty.
Yeah.
And
You
just,
could-
and just
yeah.
let you essentially impale yourself as you come in.
Especially if you come in low like that, I'm gonna want to do over here, and if you step back, I'm wide open and you're defended. Yeah. So I do.
So there's a bait there, right? You're shooting this here. You're kind of playing this like my turn, your turn thing with the whole left hand fighting things right here. And you're stepping here. And you say you're driving through.
Yeah.
Yeah, either driving through or if they step forward, let them drive themselves into my sword.
Okay. So here. I'm not a lefty.
Yeah, so if I were to put a lot of pressure here or whatever, and then step back suddenly, yeah, this is
Yeah,
wide
okay.
open.
So
like-
they shoot
like-
high for a bit. Yeah,
yeah,
okay.
do
'Cause
do
I'm
literally
either-
anything but stab him in the face at that
Yeah.
point.
Because I really want here, and if he goes low, I really want there, and I'm wide open for that. That makes sense.
And I would even make it just a little bit, try to like pump that board down just a little bit. Like something you can do is when you level change, you can just like shoot just a little bit down. Like you're like when you move around, this is kind of like programming your opponent a little bit. Where you can kind of bump. You start like mess around with level change a little bit. You can lower it just a little bit here and bring it back up like someone who's using a shield a lot. Someone might see that like, oh shit, I think that's open when he dips down. Well, you know that. So I'll know it's baked in, and you can, you can hit some super fried kind of.
Actually, I was thinking about what you were saying about hiding your hand, and I stole this from Harry. I call it the Uncle Arton.
The Uncle Arton.
I transfer, like I act like I'm hiding my hand. I transfer to my shield hand, and I throw a fake wrap and stab right to the ribs. It only gets people one time.
Good old Madu tech is what that looks like. I've seen your Madu.
That's definitely a 10%er for sure. I like that though. Yeah.
It's great in practice because then people are like, "What the hell?"
Right. All right. So then, they're going to tell you what they're working on, and this class is going to tell them what they're working on, and then we're going to go and have you guys fight a little bit. And we're going to see if we can put into practice what you guys are workshopping. Yeah, oh, and that pressure.
So both of you gonna fight each other.
I'm a little bit, yeah. Yeah, we're gonna fight. You know what I'm saying? Fighting's good. Okay, so what did you guys go over? Whether it's one shot, multiple shots, or anything that you want to try here?
A stab that is hiding the hand is the general concept.
Okay. Why don't you guys just show me someone to be a pal and then demo a little bit what you guys are talking about, so I can get caught up to speed here.
We talked about, let's see, if I'm baiting here, just like a stab like that.
Okay. Okay.
We talked about the Uncle Arthon over here, feint, throw in like that.
Sure. Sure.
We talked about the lefty shoulder bait.
So like if I were to put a lot of pressure onto this side to either get him to cross, or even if I were to like back up and just get
Okay.
into this side.
All right. So we have essentially 3 pretty distinct but stab-centric shots right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Who's confident that they can throw one or all of these?
I can throw at least one of them.
You can throw. Okay. Well, you're
Lefty
on,
one's gonna be hard.
You're on lefty duty. Okay. Sorry. But how about for the other 2?
So yeah, so the hiding of the hand, like I'm pretty confident, not confident it'll land, but I can throw it. But like, it's more of like you're fighting, and then you just.
Okay. Cool.
So it's the more of the setup, like, because I can, you can train someone.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw this a lot, and then you hide the hand a little bit, and then.
Okay.
Come up under.
We'll put you on that. We're gonna put you on the old Uncle Harry. How's that sound? Excellent. So it's not going to be success that it lands. We're not worried about that right now. It's going to be successful that you tried it. Okay. So our plan is going to be to execute one or all of these, and you can switch. But the goal is going to be for you to do the sneaky one, you do the pretty conventional one, and you do the left-handed one. And they have their own set of 3 shots that they're going to try against you guys as well. And we're going to see what happens. I'm pretty confident this is going to be kind of rad. And if it isn't, well, I dropped the ball on that one, I guess. But it should be kind of fun. And now, if you aren't feeling up to fighting this morning, it's totally fine. We got plenty of people to do it. If you just want to watch, it's also okay. No pressure to have to fight or do anything right now. I know some of them have some, like Stug is recovering from like surgery shit. So
I'm assuming like if we're actually fighting too. So if I see some openings or something, I'm just gonna take it.
But your goal, because I'm not gonna count that as a win.
Yeah.
Your goal is to land the shot you're working on.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to find a way to do that to make it successful.
Well, my goal is this one.
Yeah. Now, if you can land one of the other ones, bonus points, right? If you decide to switch to being left-handed and land that, like, hey, you did it.
It's not that hard.
But we're 3 shots I have to learn. That's basically what I got now.
Yeah. We're going to basically turn it into two out of 3 is essentially what we give everybody a chance to do. You got basically 2 to 3 chances to try to get yourself, well, maybe more, I guess we sign a lot, but whatever. We get a couple of chances to execute the plan.
The real question is, if everyone chose a staff,
I am not going to tell you what the other classes
I'm not asking you to tell me. I'm just saying, if everyone chose a staff, it's going to be real funny.
I mean, I'm so glad I'm not the one participating at that point. My body can't handle it. All right, so have a couple minutes, talk amongst yourselves about, what you kind of want to do and like how you might get there. Just, be prepared. We're going to start pretty soon. I'm going to make sure they're all caught up with Morpheus, and then we'll gather you all up and we'll make this happen. Be gentle with the poor boy. He had surgery.
Where was your surgery exactly?
ACL.
Got it. Okay.
Yep. But good thing we're not throwing the leg, right? Okay, go ahead and give it a shot, guys. Let's go.
Oh shit, you got my arm.
Sweet! You didn't throw a hand up, man. All right, let's go again.
Yeah.
You didn't throw a thing. Tanith, your job now is to try some of the other ones too, but we're not going to talk about the other ones. Okay.
Oh, I got to remember them.
You were really committed to that one.
Well,
I really was.
You can tell he executed the plan on the first one, which is good.
Wait, that was the plan? I thought it was natural.
That was the plan. Natural.
Have you ever seen Tails use a fucking Madu like threats?
Okay.
He was like, you know what, just Madu shot with a board, duh.
Oh, beauty. Alright.
Yeah, nice.
Hey, good hit block. Ain't got a head block too. I mean, we're not biased.
Nice. Didn't hit, but it was nice.
Yeah,
Almost fell for that.
Okay, excellent. What do you think your opponent's plan was?
Go first.
We'll start Scott.
I think the first one was obviously like the weird like take it in your shield arm and just stabbing.
I fucked it up. I was supposed to throw the big rat thing. I forgot to do it.
Well, it's like 50% success.
Yeah.
We just missed the first part. That's okay. Anything else that we'll worry about the other ones. We identified the first one. I don't want to give away what the next person's going to do. So let's not over guess on it. Tam, what do you think your opponent was trying to work on?
Sweep under, feint, big reverse wrap that way.
Okay, anything else? There may have been more than one shot that was being done.
My memory's not great though.
That's okay. That's all right. If you don't know, that's fine. We'll get an explanation from your opponent too.
Yeah, I want to say there was like a here, big wrap over the shoulder too.
Okay. That's interesting how that works, right? Because it's not. It's like partially right. It's very close to what your opponent was working on. Would you like to explain what you were trying?
So basically, I was just trying to, in a sense, like make you worry about up here and then come down. So all I did was just a fake. I just went.
Okay.
I followed your board.
Oh
and
yeah,
then,
that was
so
the first
bring your
thing you
guard,
threw.
bring your guard down, and then just pop up.
Okay.
And then the other one was once I got you like worried up here, I come here and then.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
And both executed well. Good job. Nice job, guys.
Good fight.
Awesome. Very good work. All right, who's next? Who would like to try? Either way, whoever would like it. You want it? Okay. Excellent. Cool. All right, same. No legs, don't worry about it. Yada. Playing for fun. Hey, nice. Good job. Nice work. Yeah, good job. Couple more. If you got wounded, don't worry about it.
Okay, I'll start with that.
No worries. I guess you can still do it with your offhand. I guess that's the opportunity for you guys to do that one. Maybe I should have stopped there. Maybe do some missed opportunity, yeah. The wounded righty could have tried the other one. Good job, guys. Okay.
How many people have strats from they're like, yeah, if you happen to take an arm, just.
Okay, so what do you think your opponent was trying to do?
You seem to really want to go for this shoulder. I'm not exactly sure what the setup for that would have been, but it's like I'm kind of like.
No, that's okay.
But I know it had something to do with this side.
That's perfect. That is literally the first part of what your opponent was trying to do. Or would you like to explain what you were trying?
So essentially, couldn't do anything from this direction. Make the pocket stab and then drop them.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, so you, as the opponent, read what your opponent was trying to show you, which is excellent. For your opponent, obviously, you don't want to bite too much on the, oh no, I'm going to get stabbed, and fall into their trap. But that was exactly it. Awesome. And then what were you working on?
Well,
sorry, would you guess what your opponent was trying to work on?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I landed on, I did
like
the
your
first
idea
one,
better.
so I tried switching it after. But what I was trying to do was I was trying to fake down here, wrap around, and kick the hip.
Oh, the stab.
Yeah, so that first stab, your opponent executed the plan.
It wasn't actually that's bad.
Good job, guys. Cool. That's awesome. Thank you. Someone else like to go? I think we ended up with weird numbers. I could be wrong, but that's okay. Right. You want to try? Ready? Excellent. You want to try? Yeah. Excellent. And people can go again if they want. If we haven't hit everybody, I want everyone to feel like they have an opportunity.
Yeah, we had like 2-stick people who were.
Yours is quite fun, so.
I know we had 2-stick people that wanted to try, and I don't mind fighting the 2-stick people because it shouldn't matter on what side they do theirs on. Right? Yeah.
I guess coming out with a combo for 2-stick is.
Yeah, like congratulations, I can hit either side. Being a lefty or a righty just doesn't matter. Do I feel comfortable throwing X shot?
Yeah, the thing I worked on doesn't work on lefties, so.
I can fake like I'm right-handed.
I'll fight that.
It's fake in all caps, by the way. It's not good.
Nice. Okay, nice job, nice job. Let's do a couple more.
Leg.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice call. And let's try one more. Oh,
Sorry, you okay?
No, you're good.
You got right here.
Okay. Nice job. All right. So I feel like we executed the hit your opponent in the head plan perfectly.
Well, I ducked.
It's okay. It's okay.
You ducked and your shield went completely flat.
It happens.
Oh, it's stabbing under it.
What do you think your opponent was trying to do?
I felt like you were trying to like get me to move my arm to where you can get into gear.
Part of it, yes. Yeah.
Good. Nice. And that's good. If you're catching on to what your opponent's doing, it's going to help us in the future.
I try to get all three.
Yeah, I saw it. It was good. And there's nothing wrong with trying multiple of the shots. And if the first one you were trying wasn't working, switching to something else was good. And it seems like I'm speaking for you.
Yeah,
now,
no, that's right. Yeah. I couldn't. You weren't moving the speed where I wanted to for the first one, so I was like, well, maybe I can get it in the get it right when it is. Yeah.
And so, Testament, good defense. Kept yourself pretty safe from it. And then, well, old Uncle Harry or Arthon, or however you want to call it, you know, I think Uncle Arthon. So, excellent job. Do you have any idea what your opponent was trying to do?
It looked like the under and then try to go up, but a lot of times, like, I think it got stopped halfway through because a lot of times I stepped and it got legs, so it just kind of stopped it. But I think it was trying to go under and then back around.
I was trying to step to get you to move that way before I could do good.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, awesome. And I agree. I think a lot of times either leg or shield caught some of it and it kind of messed up the shot. And that'll be like a distance thing, and that's hard. Sometimes it just happens. So we have at least one person who hasn't gone yet. Would anyone like a round 2 here from the other team?
I can fake right-handed this.
You would rather fake right-handed for it?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Who knows what'll happen? Why not? Maybe that's going to go really bad. Maybe
disrespecting Cabell.
I was over there thinking about other things. I'm like, I could steal like.
I forgot to film my actual fight, so.
I'm not gonna bonus points if you land more than one of the ones you're working on. You just got about 3 fights to sort it out. Matrix over here.
Arm with leg.
Okay, let's reset.
You align yourself with your hat?
Yeah.
It's the first time I've ever hit my hat.
Oh, hey, whoa, hold on a minute. Good catch, bro.
Got hands.
Disc golf people over here, something. That wasn't your plan.
It wasn't.
High cross was never the plan.
You cut my plan off. I should like two.
My plan is the high cross.
I would like to say that he's a lefty fighting right-handed. He just spun.
So I'm super
that's pretty
impressed.
impressive.
The lefty went righty.
Like, that's pretty impressive.
Turn into a cross, but I don't want to overspeak. I want to overspeak that. One more. I don't want to overspeak. That wasn't the plan.
It wasn't. I was moving on to his. He kept blocking my plan.
That's true. Okay,
well, that's when you spin the other way.
All right. So, what did you think your opponent was trying to do to you?
I imagined the spin shot.
Yeah.
Or
well,
either,
no,
so it's either the spin shot kills or the spin shot leads into more stuff that's going to get me killed. Is what I felt like, because there was at least at least once where you were like, I spun and now I'm still here. I'm like, what the fuck? You're supposed to stop when you lose that spin.
Yeah, it's my turn to go. Okay.
I felt like there was was there a step before the spin where you hit something or during you hit, like, I felt like some of it was a little awkward, but I felt like some of it was intentional. You were trying to create some kind of impact before you swung.
Not on this one.
Okay.
There is a version for that we talked about earlier. I coincidentally probably, but
Yeah. I don't think I ever did this.
Okay.
That's normally the setup.
That would have fucked me up.
There was
I would
something,
not
it felt like you were a bounce and a hit, or like one of them almost felt intentional where you were trying to like rest it on your head. Maybe
Well, if I rest it on my head, you can't hit my shoulders.
Yeah.
Yes. Do you see how you have to see through?
So what were you trying to do?
So initially it's up, stab.
Which was pretty close. I mean, really, frankly, it was really quite there. Good job.
I think if I were a smarter right-handed fighter, that would stop me. Because there were several times.
You just didn't react to it.
Sometimes that happens when they're not.
And then I was like, I'm gonna stab him in the face, so I can't finish the
You
stab.
put the board on this side. And I'm like, I actually have no clue what things look like anymore. The entire fight looks different.
Yeah, it changes itself. So skewed success rates when we have a lefty-righty kind of flop thing, which is fine. But still success because you did get through multiple attempts. You didn't die, and you were into other flourishes through that. So it was good. Well done. What did you try to implement? What do you think your opponent tried to implement on you? To get the timing in?
I honestly don't know. I was kind of like, I felt like I was the aggressive one.
Sure.
So like most of the time you would throw one shot back and then I would immediately press you again. Or like I would be here and you would try to throw like the money into me, but I'm like already down here from the end of my spin.
Okay, that's okay.
Nothing like triggered like I'm threatened.
With the exception of one money that I meant to just be a money because I didn't want you to keep swinging it. I tried, I guess, a right-handed version of my initial like stab of like do a thing, pressure. All right, when he goes to swing, see if I can come under.
That's why I didn't feel threatened because I was here.
Yes.
By the time
so I was like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
That's even more impressive that he blocked all my shots.
Yeah. No, it was really quite good, guys. Awesome. Thank you. That's kind of the exercise. Well, I guess we can gather here. So that's the start of the fighting portion, and I hope what you guys see with this is that you can take something pretty simple like a stab, and you can do it so many different ways. You can take something like faking this high stab into a spin, or being able to go into sword side hips. The creativity is giving us a lot of options to try a lot of things. If we only do what's successful, I mean, yeah, okay, we're going to do what's successful, and that's great, and we're going to get a lot of wins, but when you finally plateau, it's really hard to learn new stuff. So I want you to continue to be creative and trying all these things. And this is such a simple exercise to pick something like, okay, I'm going to try to make this work. I saw somebody else do this. How do I make this work? How do I simplify it? How do I do this? And if you ask those questions when you're playing this game, you are going to continue to grow, and you won't get too stagnant, which is going to really help because, well, it sucks if you get caught up in the same old, I just throw the cross, and then I like cross and shoulder, and people figure that out. But Ismail, what do you have to input here for the class at this stage of where we're at?
I think it's good to pull inspiration from, you know what, there's nothing wrong with stealing shots from people. I did
Just
a
give
lot.
him credit. Give him credit. Give him credit.
Give him credit. Right?
There it is.
Give him credit. But like even then, like Uncle here, I never moved. That was a thing. That right. So yeah, you can pull inspiration from anyone, even just by stealing shots. There's shit from Brennan that I've stolen, and Anderson, Brad, Gianna, all these dudes. Stuff that we've worked on that I've stolen from this dude. So and that can help build your library, and if you can make those things work for you, then you can kind of build off that and start making up your own. Because I can't throw a sword side hip like Jamie, but I can build off that and make it personal to myself, right? So,
yeah, awesome. And as you can see, we split you guys up, and both classes had very different things to try. However, we did also still have something that was stab related, right? Well, how do you guys transition what you just learned about your new creative stabs from the other class? You can now work those same stabs and turn it into a spin if you want to, or you can work that stab and turn it into sword side hip. So you've already added new stabs and new places to combine them. You suddenly, what is that? I mean, what's the combinations? If you start to mix everything you guys just learned from here, I don't know the math, I'll just exaggerate, but it's like 30 new shots. if you start intermingling them all together and changing it, maybe it's more, maybe it's less, and don't quote me on the math. But that part is what's so much fun about this. You know, now we can, how do we just do like what Stug was doing? And this loop. Oh shit, you could loop this. Maybe you stab him. Why not? You know, like you can now add all this. Maybe you loop that and he's dead. All of this combines and it becomes a totally new game that is creative and so hard to read. I don't know about Uncle Arthon. That one seems pretty hard.
Listen to a spit.
However, a lot of times what we see with strap shield fighters, especially flat ones, you get wounded into this hand and stab. It turns into something, right? So there is something we can take from both classes, even though we were separated. It all combines into something pretty rad.
Hypothetically, you can still feint with the dead arm.
Hypothetically,
I was actually going to mention that. Like, if you're here, you're fighting, you could be like.
That's how he showed it. He didn't do it when he executed.
Yeah, I screwed it up.
Like you literally just like throw, and then you're right, and you're just like, I'm stabbing your spine.
Wow. Like even if you're armed, like you're not doing anything with this. Like you're not wielding a sword. You're not like it's maybe like not very sportsmanlike, but you can feint with the dead arm.
Really like preemptive hand block.
Yeah.
It's hi.
I'm just waving my hand around. There's
Look
nothing
over
illegal
there.
about that.
There is something going on behind you. So then what I want to shift into is a little bit of chatty stuff for a few minutes here about how you guys can take what your own game is, because I know some people wanted some more foundational stuff, so we're going to, a little off script, and we'll try to give you some of that, because I want you guys to be able to have that. If you can identify your best shot, okay, the thing that you love, your bread and butter, this is the thing that I do, but it's not really working, you know, you are hitting that plateau we kind of talked about. I want you to be able to build off of that, and all I'm really asking is that you become a creative fighter, okay? And go, okay, well, every time I do this, they do that, so how do I punish them? Because they know I want to do this thing, whatever it is, X, Y, Z. A better example is like I high cross and they suddenly dark side me. How do I punish them? Okay, well, cool, well, where are they open when they dark side, right? They're open on the board shoulder and they're open on the board hill. So being able to do this and transition to one of those other locations is going to be really powerful for you to build a creative thing. And if you feel like you're getting tied up, we talked about this a little bit in the Big Swings and Baits class. A roll with your cross can turn into a shoulder. A roll with this can turn into an ass wrap. It still looks like the same opener, but it goes somewhere else. So the challenge for you guys is to ask yourself questions when you're fighting, like, why did that work that way? Why did they block that? Why didn't this work? How do I make this work? And if you're doing that regularly while you're fighting, yeah, you're going to catch L's because you're experimenting a lot with this, but that's okay. We're going to improve all of a sudden, and you're going to be like, damn, I just suddenly threw a new shoulder shot, and it builds into something really cool. Ismail, do you have any examples of a way that you would make something successful? What's a shot that you really like? On the spot. Okay, someone else on the spot. That you want to build something off of.
Oh, that's a different question.
Yeah, we're going to go that way. What's something you like, and we'll build a new thing for you. I'm going to try to do that for everybody quickly.
We talked about that in the group, Charles. So I bait the shoulder, somebody throws this, take the arm.
Okay.
Really crutch on that a lot sometimes.
Excellent. I have input for that one because I like that one quite a bit. I do use a dome, so it's a little different. Yeah. I know I wanted to give you input, but I actually like this one a whole lot.
Yeah, I know you do.
Hey, it's a special place in my heart. Not mine. And I talked about this in the Fake Faith and Baits a little bit. For me, I really like a shoulder roll when I come in. We're not super tall, so tall people like to throw high shoulders. It happens all the time. I know that. And I have a preference to sword side leg forward for this. And what I end up doing is I do this roll. I bet you can see my red, right?
No, I can't. I'm short too.
Yeah, but that's okay. That doesn't take very much. Yeah, right. It's illicit to throw. So as I roll in, and now we're into this. Now we can step through, and it's a beautiful thing. So
steps are cool.
Yeah, well, you just keep going. So if you're ditching and you're in the middle of the line, you can basically hit the guy and go right through. It's pretty rad.
That makes sense.
So I would challenge you to try, and it's not necessarily going to be perfect, that you have your opponent and you go on your way in. Little, because now you're starting to flow your body the direction you want to go anyways, and they're going to throw. Yeah, and wherever it has to be. It can be arm, it can be body, whatever ends up working for you. So my simple suggestion is little roll. And how about you load up your feet and you're already throwing the direction you want to go. And hopefully, since you're too short, and somebody sets the shot high, and you can come underneath and punish them.
Just walk under the bridge and keep going.
Yeah, perfect. Nice. What's something that you have success with right now that you want to work on to add to?
I personally really want to work on the dark side, anything going off of the dark side.
Oh, excellent.
I've been getting better with it, but it's probably one of my more undeveloped shots. So really anything that involves, maybe painting the dark side into something else, going from something into a dark side, anything really going off of that.
Ismael, do you have something for our young player here?
Yeah, just honestly, something that's new generation is kind of doing right now. Ooh, easy evaluation. So, it's like doing things kind of under here, use your forehead, throw it, whatever. Basically, here, and maybe that's what you can shoot high, bring it up, maybe that. It's the tip version of the shot. Putting you can step over, right? So yeah. So you're leaning over here, just your feint over, like you're gonna throw dark side. You bring this up, your level changing low. Right. And you're throwing that. So you could try that.
He's slick with it though, right?
Pardon?
He's slick with it.
Oh yeah,
There's
yeah.
a name for it.
Yeah, I'll say I stole this from Puddin. A lot of y'all, I don't know.
Somebody did it, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do that."
A lot of.
That's all he did.
Yeah. So it was developed in Florida.
Cool.
And the person
I've seen Iggy throw it.
he throws it like on the shoulder instead.
Unmentionable person I've seen him throw it, but yeah.
The person who created can throw hips. Everyone should throw shoulder.
You can try that. It's a little whack because this puts you in a weird position, but if you do step and put over lines here, then whoever you're shooting for, you're switching this to catch your block here. And really, you don't have to stop that after round 2, right? You can still come back up too, right?
Yeah.
Still be so much better. Boom. And then into there. Spin off too.
So much better than put in.
We're slick with it sometimes. Awesome, perfect. That'll be a hard place to start. That is a little more complex. But if you start adding parts of this, you'll continue to grow. And then eventually you'll work into what's a fairly complex shot, but at the end of the day, it'll become simple. And you're just like, ah, sweet, just slaying everybody. Shit, kill him.
It's the same shot, man.
Yeah.
No, not that. Same shot from yesterday. I mean, I throw it a lot. It works well for me, but it's under. But we talked about it and like over to the top.
Yeah.
But yeah, just because I usually will do a body bob in the middle of it to pull up and then can get under.
Yeah, and for the people who weren't in that class, the part that we kind of enjoy, or that I enjoy, he and Morpheus and I, is being able to throw this roll into shoulders, but you can also roll it into hips. End up over here. They've now been conditioned some to this, and you're back to being able to drop in. And you can throw this and drop in there, which is really quite exciting. So that's just building off the same thing I already talked about, into shoulder, and you can go to ass wrap, whatever. It doesn't matter. If you're going to let you get into this position, and they're like, oh shit, I know it's shoulder. Well, it's really an ass wrap, or really sword side hip. They have no idea anymore, and all you did is open in the same place. I think it's good content. I want to give you more content, but hopefully...
No, that's fine. Listen, that's basically what I came all the way to SKBC for, is one tip that was going to go off that, so... Yeah, I'm out of here. See you guys later.
Yeah, sorry.
That's how I felt yesterday. I was like, oh my god, I can do this to people? I'm done.
I'm not great.
$60 worth it for just that.
That's fair.
We can talk through that too.
One thing,
spinning
all right,
is really
bye.
quite simple, but that's a different class. That's
I say
spinning
I'm not good at spinning just because I don't. I know how to. I can do it.
I believe it. How much stuff?
I personally enjoy the money shot or the reverse wrap the most.
Okay.
The talent contest that my high cross slide shot's my best shot.
You ran through a solid half of an entire Iron Man portion, just being like, hi, goodbye.
Well, I mean, damn, good job.
No, it's more of like, and I've worked on like incorporating them both together. So
okay,
you step sword side, you go low, and then when they drop, it just pop up and in.
Okay.
That's what I've been doing, but I'd love to be able to. I find my hand gives out whenever I do like a big loop. So like big loop up into big loop up into there.
Sure.
My hand will like give out, and I'll be throwing with without my thumb, just like that.
Yeah, I understand. So to build off of this, so pick one part of this, and we'll build on it real quick.
I would like to work on I really like to work on like this because I want to be able to like either like fake the money into like a stab or something.
Sure.
But
my guess is what's going on mostly for this for you isn't so much as a shot portion, but it's your feet. Your feet are going to help you create this opening. So if you want to be able to throw this kind of loop, if you're on center at all, you're going to have a really hard time. A visual cue is going to be like our noses are lined up right now. I've now gotten off center line because I'm cheek to cheek with my opponent. And that's about all you really need is that much lateral movement. Obviously you can be more extreme, like clearly now I'm a head past my opponent. And all of this is going to start to become pretty strong. If this cross or this low in the crosses get to you, here, they're going to rotate with you. And you can shoot yourself back over. You can even load up to really put yourself across your opponent, right? You can go way over fucking there if you really want to. You can end up past them on that sword side, which is pretty rad.
You gotta jump past. You gotta jump high cross and then kill the next guy on the line.
Yeah, it's really about killing the person over here. You're over here. You load up and hit them over there on the board side shoulder.
you stab them.
Sometimes simplifying is important here. We're getting too loopy. Sometimes it can really just be as simple as into this, and that can be enough to shoot over again and back into hips.
I think what you said was like, you said it where you have to, when you come up, you don't have to go all the way over. You have to come here, and that's all you need to do. And I think the issue is like, I'm like here, and I'm like, now I'm gonna force my way, and that's when my hand gives out.
I'll give that piece of advice to the class. Some of this is really important. If you feel like you're not getting the sword side hip section to land or something on this side, you're like, yeah, I'm faking over here. They're just not fighting. Look, it's up, it's high. Breaking their line of vision makes a huge impact in the success rate of your fake. So if I'm just here, he doesn't care. He doesn't have to move on. Doesn't care. Doesn't matter. If I go, that's a real shot. And now we're back in. Same idea. If you want to break their line of vision here, so they think I'm here, that's a real shot. If I don't break the line, you don't care. It's forward shoulder. That does nothing. That's most of the time. Obviously, we're talking about now into like higher end stuff. And even at low end, right? Different levels of different players are going to have all kinds of different things. Sometimes you have to fake like this, and whatever, different problem. But ending up in those different lanes, however whatever works for you for the vernacular here, I just like breaking the line of their vision. You see that? There you go. I'm not saying hit him in the face, but that's a real shot. And people will start fighting. If you don't break that, it's really hard. And obviously, feet, okay? Like all of this is prefaced with you must put yourself in a good position too. That also matters. If you don't end up off center, you're gonna have a hard time too. Stug.
One that I like to throw a lot, but I have a hard time getting it is whenever I can hit like the shoulder.
Okay.
Because especially when I fight board, I like to throw a lot of high crosses. So like maybe I'll just go like throw that because they're so conditioned to me throwing over there.
Yeah.
That's what I do. Yeah. But and even when I fight flow V board, I have a hard time like getting this. But I really want to start hitting that a lot because it's just like chef kiss.
Oh yeah.
You hit it.
Just put that salt on them too.
Yeah.
Ismo, I know you got input for all that because Florentine and sword and board. This guy's got a bunch of good shit.
So is it a Florentine thing or is it
both sword and board and Florentine?
Yeah. You kind of come up here.
Just or like just anything. I just know that like whenever I do get to such a thing in board, it's a lot of it is because I throw a lot of this.
Yeah.
That I just go like and like throw that, and because people are so they'll go like, oh,
yeah,
come over top.
Okay.
Well, and Florentine, I just have a hard time opening it up. Just on Florentine.
I might have some Florentine. I might have some sword and so I'm gonna try for sword and board. Then adding a little extra fakes too, double fakes just to like scramble the brain a little bit. So you can throw this and then dip low a little bit and go over. So you try that. Less extra, let's call it fat with the thing, right? Yeah. You're dipping low. Maybe that's what's like, throw an ash.
I am forcing my body not to follow him on that. See, every time I'm like, no, stop.
and that's how it works.
And another thing too, you don't have to fully commit to a lot of these big shots. You can really hit something about this much more, right? It is a real tight, right? You're really trying to hit him with this there. Watch where your hand placement is, right? Because you're shooting it from here. Well, yeah. But if your hand is just above, above where the line shield is, you're more likely to hit that. You don't have to go for this big shot here, right? You can here. and that's all you really use, just not that much. So that's a quick one. Try that.
It may take a little bit more as not tall, fighters for is. This little bit with my knees goes a pretty long way. I don't necessarily have to bend my torso. Being able to throw my shot and load up so I can really, they see me drop down like I'm an ass wrap, and that gives me something to stand up into a shoulder wrap. Yeah, absolutely.
So like, if you're doing it flow, and you feint the stab down here, if you use this arm to cover on your feint, that's really gonna sell that feint down there. Because like, this is just a feint. If you're doing the defense, they're like, oh, he's really gonna stab there, and then come in with a step and throw. Because I've just found some success with that, like doing the covers on my feints. It just seems to sell them a lot more.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you're trying to defend yourself. You want this.
Yeah. It's like I'm going because I'm putting my defense up.
Cool. That's helpful. Yeah. We can talk more later and add some more stuff to it.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
it's a little more complicated. It's a broad spectrum. We're talking about flow and board and another thing. We got the peanut gallery hanging out. Anything you're working on that you want to try? We got some stuff for lefties too.
I am a firm believer that the lefty hip shot is what gets everyone killed. Not necessarily that it is the shot that kills people, but because it's like, oh no, the lefty's going to lefty hip wrap me. I have to die. I don't know. That's my entire life. So for the most part, what I've been working on since yesterday has been, oh man, I'm gonna do a lot. So much is going to come here. I guess I can use my board to make this make sense.
Sure.
So much is going to come here, and if they push and swing, so like a lot of people get like freaked out at this point. I can either close and step this way and come here, or if they're just like, fine, then I'll hip wrap.
Oh yeah, and I'm a big fan of that. Always brownie points if you want to spin on the board side.
And the spin part has been less and less because sometimes I'm like, I don't know what to do here, but I need them to. At the moment, I believe that I need them to swing because this gives me their sword's done something. If I just shoot, I imagine he's gonna hit me in the back, right?
So for the spin, and I laugh as I walk over here and grab stuff because I sure like spinning on monkeys. So we square up and everything. If you're having a hard time selling it on righties, there's a chance that you're just not off center enough. If I put myself here, nobody wants this. We get into this engagement. I've cut off the lane from my opponent, and a lot of times either, like you said, they'll throw, cool, there's hide up. I can go now. Step ourselves through, no problem. Or we get into, okay, they're not throwing, I'm just gonna jab at this thing and step in here pretty much at the same time. Now we're throwing through, excellent. I'm loaded. Yeah. We're off. I'm looking at my target. When I hit my target, I'm pretty far away to hit my target, but the point is, here we are. I can see it. Excellent. We're going. Get it, and we go. And that'll be pretty fun. If they're gonna block low, you have other options, right? Same thing. You're here. Just go high shoulder, right? Or inside shoulder. Until they're like sick of this shit, and then you can spin on us, right? Same idea. So here we are. Load up real hard, real in. Too far out. Right here. Yeah. Trust me. Oh shit. Now bring your hand across. And hit me there. That positioning is going to matter. If you're basically here, too far. Still too far. Terrifying. That little piece is going to change that shot for you forever.
Thank you.
One thing I've had someone help me with is doing the under dark side.
Okay.
But I was having issues because my arms were so short.
Okay,
that,
sure.
They told me to lift up my shield just to do it.
Interesting. Okay. So what would you like with throwing an underside dark, dark side underneath with a center grip, and for somebody with maybe shorter wingspan, got any input?
Maybe we'll shoot it over the line up like that. I would just table it. That's all.
We need a dummy. Yay, dummy.
Yeah, so
Thanks, dummy.
I'm able to suggest this. You can't see. You're kind of hoping that you can hit them or they'll fall for your bait you're doing to hit them there. Hope isn't. What was it? Hope isn't a strategy. That was something combat computer. Hope isn't a strategy, right? But I would just table it, especially just want them to shoot for here, that's typically the bait for the dark side. Instead of that, just tape it here. Just try that.
Okay.
Try step offline try step offline to the left, so you're cutting that angle. So you're on center line, right? You're still trying to throw that. They might still be able to get that right. They even hit here. Reverse step. At least in here, one, you get this better angle. Get them here, here, there. And as opposed to this, you can see your opponent too. So in case it screws up, and because it's tabled, get back to the guard. Or you just like that.
So that's, Bell does that. What Bell will also do is not throw immediately. He'll let you cross and he'll come here because
sure.
What's your reaction? I'm gonna hip wrap you. Well, guess where my hand is?
Yeah, he blocks that whole bunch.
You can block
monster.
I also find when you cover your own head, you get hit in the head more because you've told your opponent, hey, you can't see where anything is anymore. So they're throwing blind shots and you're throwing blind shots and everyone's just hitting everyone in the face now.
Yeah. Hopefully that's useful. We can go over it more too later if you'd like to, but getting just accustomed to being able to push this out versus out and in front of your face, and it's gonna be impactful for sure.
Okay. So on the Ditch Thursday, you gave me some advice. Can I see a dummy?
I need a dummy. Hey,
yeah.
dummy.
So yeah, you gave me advice where what I would do to improve my hip wrap is I'd chop here and then I'd come in as I'm going through. Is there any way I can increase that? Because as I was fighting people, some of them kind of like caught on. Is there a way I could like add some steps to it, or like fake more people at Morpheus from I think Talbot, or just he's like, you got it 3 times, and then after that I was letting you have it. And I was like, well, see you in the ditch Saturday.
Oh, we'll get it.
Okay.
We'll set this up. So there's a lot of ways to throw sword side hip. Okay, I love sword side hip. I prefer to call it that versus a money. I think that's elongated.
Yep.
And for what we're trying to do against shorter opponents here for people is land this hip. If you hit the hand, a lot of times they can follow down. It can work, and you kind of punk them, sort of. You can hit higher. This now, so it's kind of different responses. I've said your hand has to stay high, and some people don't instinctively just throw. You hit their fist, that's my trigger, I get to go. Like, you know, this, and I get crossed, right? That sucks. Or whatever. I hit up here, they're like, oh God, I gotta get back to guard. This is the worst. And then you can drop into hip. Cool. You can also change this. There's a lot. I could talk to you for an hour on this piece of content. So I won't give you too much, but changing where you're hitting will help. And that can be as simple as either hitting higher on the sword, or if their hand is high like this already, hitting under the board and putting your fist right here. What happens all the time is they don't throw immediately. You have time to put your fist here, they cross, and then we're back into hip. So it'll end up being boom. And you step through. Everything's going to involve you going this direction, okay? I'm just being lazy, so don't judge me too much. And drop into hip. Finally, last one, we'll do 3 for you, because I like this one a lot. You can open board shoulder instead. You can either jab this, or fake this here, and you can start doing a combination of those, so it's going to make it less predictable. So you're doing hand, throw, you're doing sword, throw, you're doing undershield, throw, you're doing this side shield, throw. You've now added a ton of variety. It's going to be very hard for your opponent to understand what it's going to be, and it's all ending in the same spot.
Do you find that hitting the board, sword side hip opens up the board side shoulder when they? Yeah. So that's when
Secret time. Absolutely. You land this hip. All of a sudden, tall dudes like Talbot or Morpheus, who I should have no right hitting in the shoulder, are suddenly still worried about this, and I'm able to. I'm over here. We'll hit him in the shoulder. It's all about the movement. You do have to get yourself in position. None of this works if I just chill right here. I must make myself end up here or wherever. Some off-center line thing will be useful. I think
that was my follow-up. Was after that stopped working, I started going for that shoulder.
Yep, and that's cool. Oh yeah, you'll never get that again. Okay, I'll take shoulders then, or I'll take ass wraps, whatever. And then,
I didn't say I got it. Yeah. I said I was going for it.
Oh well, that's okay. We'll get you there, I promise.
Money.
Like actual sort, like big, long one? Here you go, buddy. Nope, sorry.
Fuck this.
I'll let the tall guy tell you how to do that one.
We like sword side hip on a lot of money shots. So you're just you want to learn how to just throw a better.
Well, so usually I'll establish a pattern. Like I like doing the cross shoulder up 1, 2. So I'll throw 1, and then I'll drop to the money, or I'll do like a big exaggerated look over here and then drop the money.
Okay.
But a lot of the time when I throw it, somebody will just take a step back and catch it in the board. I'm not going to deep enough. When I step really deep, I usually just get like choked.
You get blocked in your head, though, bro.
That's honestly the thing. If you're not down here, are you
it really
doing
isn't.
it?
I'm just kidding, class. Don't do that.
Nip about it. And he said put the board over your head
I do
instead
it.
of like tabling it on the shoulder.
So there's a couple ways to do that. One that I like to do if I feel like they're really heavy on blocking this shot, you can throw a little double too. You can throw a shallow one here and then make a bigger step offline. So you're throwing this one a certain one here, and if they don't do anything, then you go deeper, stepping offline, and you can do that. Or hell, if they want to block it, it does open up other things, right? Shield shoulder. So you can, well, if they ain't do anything, then you can step offline and do that too.
And like the other one, it's going to start opening the hip again. So like, it doesn't necessarily matter that the sword side hip or the money isn't the hero, because you're going to catch a whole bunch of W's elsewhere because they're so worried about this one thing. If they overcorrect for anything, shoulder, cool, hips are open again, yay. And they'll be very profitable.
I mean, other things you can try too. You can try to get that shot to. You can get them to throw their shot first, and then you can go second off their thing too. Another thing that I like to do. I'll knock this out the way, and typically they might throw back. They might try. Oh God, get back to the guard.
After you hit that hard.
But some of the people will do.
It happens.
Is I flip that. If I hit that, they want to get back in the guard. Well, all this is a little more open now, right? So I can come back in because they're worried about shit. My shit's out the way. I gotta get out of position because I get high crossed again or whatever.
Yeah. So
you try that too.
To consolidate that a little bit, yeah. If you want to manipulate their equipment, it'll put them in weird compromised positions. And since most of us are right-handed, that leads to that fun little triangle right here at the hip. You just do the drop it in. Yeah, and you'd be surprised. You can do this so much further away than you should ever be able to. Because, like, really, frankly, I think you were pretty close to him, right?
Hey, that's not your normal range on that.
Yeah,
I feel like normally when you're hitting me with it, we're like this far away, and it's a lunge. I'm like, I had no chance of blocking that. You don't have to throw. I don't need to be hit again. You gotta prove it.
So, at this point now, what we've done is we've given everybody something to try, okay? And what I will personally promise you is if you are successful with one of these shots, please yell that you did it. And I will turn to you and I will let you know you did the best thing ever, and I will encourage you like a proud dad. And I will cheer and I will clap. Like, I did it!
No, you
Sunshine!
gotta yell shot creation.
Shot creation! That's the way to do it, and we will cheer and we will applaud you. I don't care what I'm doing, I'll stop doing it to cheer for you. As long as I hear it, I absolutely will. I got to check my watch for time. What's the passing period, do you know?
It's 11.
It's 11, so
but
2 minutes.
You've got a few minutes before lunch and
Okay.
also from lunch.
So if you guys want any more input then, because we have, I guess, 2 minutes, so good job. We will give you more content, and we will talk to you some more.
Go over some fun things like walk away, which is very
Oh yeah, okay. So last 2 minutes. This is extremely important. If your goal is to be a Warlord or a sword knight, you have to have the sick walk away. When you kill someone and you just through the field, that is the most important part of the whole thing.
You cannot acknowledge them. They are not a person.
They are dead and they are there, and you are gone.
2005.
But in a fun, positive way, because it's pretty cool. What you have one? Okay, so my
down spear on you?
I do have my down spear on me. So my favorite example of this shot is a down spear shot. Go figure. And it leads to a really fun walkaway. And usually what happens is you're already so far gone from your opponent that they don't even know that you left. And that's really quite exciting. Here, give me that other sword. Yeah, my arm is so destroyed. That one's like 6 ounces. It's too heavy. I need the lighter sword. Well, at this point, I'll use a different bell. That's okay. You'll get that up. So we're not going to worry about the down spear shots because I know it's not everybody's jam. But the principle is the walk away. That's all that matters. Who cares how I get there? So like we're fighting, we're doing whatever. We're doing our thing. And I'll end up throwing this big hip, and I'll end up through the person and I'm already gone. I'm way the hell over here. And as long as I hit him, you look really damn cool, because you're just gone. Doesn't even matter. It's real simple. It's just a low fake and then to a high shoulder.
And if you miss, you're already gone.
I'm gone. I'm through the line.
And that guy turns around like, all right, well, I'm just gonna.
Just like, yeah, you just kind of look like an asshole, but it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
His is pretty funny too. For is this yours ditch line shenanigans?
No.
You're gonna do a different one?
Yeah, I mean, the other one's like Brett shit.
Yeah, but Brett shit's it's a good walk away. Oh yeah.
Alright, so I mean, like one that I like to do is really a shot that I like to throw is throwing a jab here, pumping low because everyone's used to like that money. I'm going over. So you can load off of this fake and explode over. So.
Oh well.
They might be going that way.
And he's gone. Where the hell did he go? I lost him. I faked. I looked over here. Terrible.
You need to walk away. Walkaways are good.
I've got one more for board because I like the board one.
Yeah.
Same kind of thing we were talking about before with these little circle and the board shoulders and stuff. Like the circle, shoulder. If you do this thing right and you get to hit them, you've already kind of landed it and you're gone. You're through the line again. Yay. Like, you need one. Find one. Doesn't have to be complicated, but anything that puts you past them, lost. Jessica's. That's the moral of the story. Yes, sir.
So note to self, if I spin on somebody as a lefty, just walk the other way.
Yeah, so I mean,
like,
yeah,
just...
you can throw, yeah, I guess I've been doing that lately. we doing a thing?
Yeah, just goodbye.
We're
all right.
I'm in this side of the fight now, yay?
Yeah.
Something else is going on, and holy cow, does that feel bad when your opponent is just 20 feet away from you, and you're like, I died, that sucks.
Right,
Yeah, don't make him feel bad, it just adds to it. Some of this actually has a purpose. If you're ditching, battle gaming, whatever, if you've hit them and you're through to the next person, cool, you're running lines then, right? In sparring, that's just for showboating, yay. But for fighting 1v-manys, oh god, my 1v-many shot's so good. I'll save that one for the dish, it's gonna be fun. I've got a situational shot that only works in very, very specific situations. It has to be two people. The person on the left cannot be a right-handed sword and boarder. They must be anything other than that. Maybe not a polearm, because that's whatever. You can still do it, but you know, pulls are hard. And you get to punk the just bejesus out of the guy on the left. And it is a really, really fun thing. I will do it for you guys if you want, because I think this one's really pretty rad. Yeah, okay, fine, let's do it. Why not? So, you can just be single sword, it really doesn't matter. It can be Florentine, you know what, Florentine.
Oh, you're left.
That's okay, you can just be on this side. I need a sword pretty quick, it doesn't matter. Ah, not in my house! So the idea, right, is you've got this 1v-many thing going on. You're having to fight a couple of people. And, you know, they're trying to press you. That's kind of the idea. We're sort of circling and everything. And what generally happens is if I step to this guy on the right, aggressively here, typically, they're like, oh, God, I need to step back. I need to make some space. This person goes, cool, I need to step forward and chase them. You're loaded up, and you get to shoot through this person, putting their corpse in between you and their teammate. Cool. And it ends up being an uppercut either through this part of their body on this press, and you're able to shoot through. And you can do whatever you want, throw across that corpse again, and it ends up being super dynamic and really a shitload of fun. But it only works. It does. I call it the Field of Lilies.
Gotta coin it. It's on camera.
It only works again if they are not right-handed, and any piece of equipment other than that, because the shield's on that side, and that sucks. Sorry. Okay, cool. We showed a few razzle-dazzles at the end. The walkaway is important. I hope this was useful for you guys. I hope there's something that you can take from this that will help improve your fighting. And if you have questions about it later, please hit us up anytime. It can be Facebook, it can be whatever. We're not on the TikToks, we're too old. Yeah, just Facebook's for the old guys, so that's where we're at. And anytime on the field, please. And we'll talk, we'll give you more content, we'll do whatever you need. Hope it was educational. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
You're the best.